Joining us once again here, fresh off of his UFC victory, the lovable jerk with no TikTok, Mr. Johnny Muñoz. How are you today, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me as always. Hope everything's going good with you, man.
Yeah, I can't complain. If I was any better, I would be you, but that's not the case here. So, Mr. Munoz, like I said, you picked up a big UFC win on the weekend, your first UFC victory. How are you feeling after that? You're 2 days removed from that. Is it still sinking in all right?
Yeah, man. It was a great feeling. I woke up this morning like in my actual bed. I was thinking, I don't know. I woke up and I was like, "Is it fight week?" Like, and I was like, "Oh wait, I just fought over the weekend." But I was just like
Hmm.
imagining what I was thinking last week on fight week. I was like, "Okay, this fight week, like getting my mind right and all that stuff, and thinking about the fight. Those jitters and all that." But it's always good to wake up after a fight, uh, especially when you won. It's a good feeling, and yeah, man, it was a great feeling. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's got to be a good feeling, but sometimes you wake up a little bit sore that next morning, I'm pretty sure. So that might be the only thing that you're not too much a fan of. But if you do get that victory, I'm sure it's not as bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. My body feels pretty good. Uh, there's a couple minor things. I think there was more during the training camp. Like I had a hard training camp, so my body's definitely a little exhausted. It was a tough training camp. So yeah, man. But I feel good. My body feels good. Just want to soak it all in and talk to my team. We'll see what's next.
Yeah, so you did have two canceled fights, I believe, leading up to this one. One was actually supposed to be with him, but that kind of got scratched. So how is it now that you got that fight over with after a little while and that you could get that first victory?
Yeah, that's another thing too, man. It feels good that the fight went through. It played out. I walked in there, had the fight week, everything. He showed up, so I'm thankful for him that he stood healthy and all that. 'Cause I was a little concerned. Like I'm not gonna lie, like having those two fights canceled,
Hmm.
the pullouts. So with this one, I was like, man, like is like luck not in my favor or whatever you want to call it. Like I was like, I hope like it was just in the back of my head, like is this gonna happen? Like I was thinking, we did the COVID testing before we flew out, so I was like, man, I hope this like goes well, like that nothing comes up positive, and
Yeah, yeah.
it went good. So I was okay. That's step one there. Now we're there. We take another COVID test, and it was like rapid COVID test, and that was another thing. I was like, man, I hope like this goes through, and we passed that one. And then like so we're enjoying the fight week, and then we did the last COVID test after the ceremonial weigh-ins. And I'm just thinking, man, like let this go through. But luckily it went all through, man. But yeah, definitely it was in the back of my head, like just those doubts, like is this gonna happen? You know what I mean? Just because like it's happened already this year, and it just would have been a bummer. But I was trying to stay positive throughout the thing, but it did cross my mind.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Well, just think about it this way. Before COVID and everything, it was the weight cutting. Now it's the weight cutting and the COVID stuff. So that kind of adds a
Yeah,
little bit of stress. I gotta imagine a little bit of this stress, like you said, in the back of your head, just thinking about that. It kind of does it take away at all from the training that you do while you're like, let's say, warming up in the hotel or whatever the day before? Does it kind of like keep you on your toes a little bit?
yeah. I mean, like, I do think about it, but I feel like when it comes to the training or warming up, it doesn't cross my mind or anything like that.
Okay.
So, but it is one more thing to worry about, like you said with the weight cutting. You are thinking about that
Hmm.
because like who knows what happens if one of your coaches tests positive.
Exactly. Yeah.
What happens then? Do they scratch the whole fight? Do they remove him? But even then, it's like, okay, what if it's like your head coach? Like you're gonna go out there without him. So it's a lot of things that are going on in the mind. So I guess it could be a distraction when it comes to that point. But when you're just thinking about it, I mean, it can be. But I feel like I'm pretty good at just zoning in the task. Even if something's like bothering me heavily on my mind, I'm pretty good at switching gears when I'm focused on another task at hand.
Yeah. So the mental game is something that's super, super important in this sport specifically, in all sports, but in MMA, it's very important. So what do you do to kind of to keep your mind sharp, I guess, to be ready for that fight?
Yeah, I think the big thing for me to keep my mind sharp, like I'm always at the gym, but I'm also I'm by myself a lot. Like, you know what I mean? When I'm not training, I'm around my family, my cousin Super Glue and stuff, or certain people that are close to me. But uh, I like to be alone. There's moments in my day like I just like to be alone, and I feel that that's where. I mean, it could work against you. It maybe not might not work in your favor. But for me, like I like being alone because I process a lot of things in my mind. I think a lot of things, and you really get to know yourself. When you're alone. You know what I mean? Uh, no one else knows you better than yourself. Throughout the day, who are you talking to? You're talking to yourself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking thoughts in your mind. That's talking to yourself right there. And whatever you're thinking in your mind can play tricks on you. If it's negative stuff, if it's you just flip it the other way. If it's positive stuff you're talking, your mind becomes powerful. You know what I mean? I mean, think about like how many times if somebody goes into a fight, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose. Like he's probably gonna lose the fight. Like
Yeah.
just flip that switch. I'm gonna win or whatever you're telling yourself. It's the same effect, in my opinion. Uh, but yeah, man, like I just that's how I get my mind. I like to read a lot too. Um, like just different kind of books, all kinds of books, and I'm just a big observer of words. You know what I mean? Like I'll read some, and if I see certain words, they like trigger some in my mind. And yeah, I think that's for me. That's what helps with my mindset. And I'm always looking for different things to improve my mindset, whatever it is. To me, nothing's ever perfect. It's just always striving to find new ways that you could add that's going to help you.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. We were talking about being by yourself, sorry, and all that. But in a way, you go into the cage by yourself. You do have your coaches by your side, I guess, but in that cage, you're thinking in your own head, and you're the only one in there with your opponent and the referee, I guess. So that's something crucial that maybe a lot of people should think about at some point.
Yeah. No, it's super important. It's true. I mean, you got your team, but at the end of the day, you're the one going in that cage. You know what I
You're
mean?
throwing those punches. Your coaches aren't throwing them for you.
Yeah, they're going to guide you. They're your extra pair of eyes, but they can't control the way your body's moving or how you're going to
hmm
react. So.
Exactly. Yeah. Super cool. So another one I wanted to ask you is I feel like it's kind of flying under the radar as of late. A lot of people they'll stay up late past midnight and stuff like that. But for you, you're a fighter. You have that discipline. So what does a proper sleeping schedule look like for yourself? Like how do you balance training? Like you said, you're by yourself, so maybe you don't go out as much partying and stuff like that. But how do you manage your sleep with your training?
Yeah, so sleep is super important. It's very crucial. Like my coaches are always telling me, my dad's always telling me, like it's a part of training. Rest. You know what I mean?
hmm
So I feel like my sleeping has been better than I think it's ever has been. Because I used to be one of those people that go to bed super late, man, like 2 a.m. Like anywhere 1 a.m., 3 a.m., like super late, and yeah, and then I got to start my day, and I didn't get enough rest, and it's hard on the training sessions. But I just feel like lately, I've been trying to really prioritize sleeping, and like I try to get to bed like around 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m. at night. I know some
hmm
people, oh, that's late, but for me, like that's early, because my schedule, like in the day, like I start training, like it depends, like usually 9 a.m., like sometimes 8 a.m.,
hmm
uh, anywhere from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., depending on the day, what the practice is.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, so for me, I've been trying to sleep at 11 p.m., which is it's been working perfect. I'll get up at like 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m. so I can get my body going,
hmm
get a little food in me, some energy in me, and then I start my day like that, training, and in between training sessions, like I'll chill out, like maybe rest, take a little nap, that kind of stuff. And I feel it's been helping me like stay energized, and I notice as well it helps keep my mind clear. You know what I mean? I'm able to process things and intake information, whether it's technique or whatever it is. And for me, it's super important. Sleep. I know it's, when I was a little younger, I'm still young now, but younger, I was like, I don't need that. Like whatever, I'm young. But the older you get, like you start realizing that sleep's super important. And I think just because you get more wiser as you age and stuff, you know.
Yeah, for sure. So I feel like sleeping is kind of a recovery process for your body. It allows everything. Let's take a phone as an example. A phone, you got to charge it to get that battery up and running in the morning or whatever. So you got to kind of charge your body to wake up and have a good practice, because there's one thing to have a good practice, and then there's another one to not have as good as sleep, and then go in and not feel as good as you could with that sleep. But talking about training and mixing your sleep in with your training, I see you've been training with the flyweight champion, Brandon Moreno, the assassin baby. Talk to me. How much has that impacted your performance and your training overall?
Yeah, man, it's been great training with him. Super good guy. Like I always like tell people, like one of the nicest people you ever meet. And like if you hate on the guy, like you're fucked up somewhere in the head. Like,
Yeah.
it's like hard to hate on that guy. So like he's a super nice guy. Trains hard. Like, and he just has that energy in the room, man. Like I train super hard. I take this very serious. People that know me know like I bring a different energy in the room. Like when I come to practice, like I'm big about being on time, doing everything right, never late for the practice. I finish the practice through and out. Whatever my coach is asking me, I do it, and I'm consistent. Never miss a practice. And not everyone thinks that way. Like there's a lot of fighters like I've trained with, the UFC, Bellator. Like they're not on that same mindset for whatever reason. Maybe they're gifted somewhere else. But I like training with people that are on that same mindset or frequency. And Brandon Moreno, he's one of those guys, man. He has that energy in the room. So it's great to see that. So like when I'm training with him, it's like, man, I know like I have that. And training with him, it's like to me it makes that training session just better because it's more competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, like it's giving me like, a lot of confidence, just hearing like advice from him, stuff like that, hearing it from the champ himself. At the fight, like he was with me in the warm-up room, like supporting me and all that stuff. So it's real cool to see that. And yeah, man, it doesn't get any better than being a UFC champ. So you got to take it in and learn from the best.
Exactly. So not everyone can say that they've trained with the flyweight champion or the world champion. But before I let you go here, it was a pleasure speaking with you. I have to ask you these 5 rapid questions. So if you got to get comfortable a little bit, I got to reread these questions, make sure we get them right here. Get comfortable. If you got to take a deep breath, I'm not judging here.
I'm nervous, man.
All right. I remember the time we spoke with Alan Martinez, the Super Glue. We did that trivia. It was a while back, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember that one.
All righty. So we got these 5 questions here. So this first one, whenever you're ready, I'm going to throw you for a loop here. Your favorite Mexican dish?
My favorite Mexican dish. Oh man, that's a tough one, man. There's great things. If I had to pick one, probably I'm gonna say tacos. You can never go wrong with
Tacos.
tacos.
Can't go wrong. There's so many foods to pick from in the Mexican
I
culture.
was gonna say pozole, caldo de res. I don't know.
Tamales.
Oh man, I forgot about the tamales. I'm gonna say tacos though, like the camarón or de carne asada.
So much, man. All right, number 2, moving on. Could I take you in a jiu-jitsu match? Real question.
Could you take me in a jiu-jitsu match? No question. I don't
It'd be
know.
competitive.
It'll be competitive.
Yeah.
I put it this way. I think you do better than the rest of the guys in the MMA.
I'll take it. All right, I'll take it. I'm gonna hold that one close to me. Number 3, your most memorable moment throughout your either career or even through your life.
Most memorable. My most memorable moment, I would probably say receiving my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Caught me off guard. Didn't see it coming. I had won the SJJF Worlds, my weight class, and then the next day I decided to do the Absolute. And yeah, I won that. It was like I was sick too. I wasn't gonna do it, but I was like, the competitor mindset in me says, "No, you're gonna do it." Like I committed to this, so I said, "Fuck it, let's do it." And I ended up just playing smart, winning off my mind and being a smart competitor. Yeah, and I won. I remember getting on the podium, my dad coming up, and I seen the black belt, and it was just like, man, just because I started so young, and that was like one of the goals, getting my black belt, and it was a great moment, man. So I'd probably say that one.
All right, and number 4, do you sing in the shower? Real question. Don't lie to me.
Right. Okay, so I don't sing in the shower. I bath,
Okay.
so it's not
Okay.
I mean, it might happen like maybe a couple times out of the year,
Occasionally.
but not
Okay.
every time. On a kick,
All right.
I'm feeling something. I'm feeling a
Yeah.
beat. I'm
Feeling
sure.
groovy.
Feeling good.
All right. So the last question here, the most difficult one. Describe Shakira with one word.
Describe Shakira with one word. Somebody got a crush on Shakira over there. I'm gonna say hips.
Hips. They don't lie. All righty. My friend,
Exactly.
it was a pleasure speaking with you. Like I said, congratulations on that first UFC victory. Many more to come throughout your young career. I wish you nothing but the best.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me. Always fun. And yeah, man, hopefully we'll talk soon and we'll be on to the next one. Appreciate you.